across both those series, map number 1 both times was Vault. FaZe able to win both of those could be a key to this series, because you look at this map list, I mean, listen, for Surge overall, once we get to maps 2 through 5, like, you are 13-2 since adding Neptune, but there you can see 7 wins in a row. The margin, though, only plus 26 at the major, undefeated. See if they can get it done again.
It's not often over these past, what, 5-6 years in the CDL, where we're talking about FaZe, that they're winning success, like their winning conditioning being Hardpoint, but here we are. Will the Surge be good enough? But let's do it. Winners bracket final time. Surge or FaZe guaranteed a spot in that grand final. It's a different kind of pressure. You know, you're on one side for FaZe, you're trying to cement this legacy you have, further this legacy of maybe the greatest team of all time. And for Surge, this is 4 guys looking for their first LAN win. You could not be more different in this matchup. Yeah,
I think we just saw with the last series, right? LA Thieves know, people know, winning is difficult. Doing it consistently on these Sundays. Draza there off to a 2-0 start, and maybe a big deal there, because the last couple of series with Draza, he's had some of these slower starts. Could be a key maybe to shut down Nasty. Both those players running that extra SNG on a map like Vault. And well, there we go, 4-0, starting to get loud.
Yeah, I think Draza comes into this team to help change the culture here for these guys on Sunday. We know they've been running through a tournament sometimes. The hiccup comes on Sunday. It's called the Silver Surfers. Yes, it's been impressive. You've been to a lot of finals, but can you actually close it out? Draza comes in to help them with that. So far, so good. Is Draza up to 5-1? But yeah, one of these matchups goes to time, right? So don't be too shocked. Keep an eye on that play clock throughout it, but we'll focus on your first big P2. FaZe been such a strong rotate team, but kind of get blown out of the water here early. The break is looming.
Yeah, well, they just get choked out. I mean, you had Nasty just pretty much hold that heady, and he has the crossfire. So FaZe, they cannot get pushed towards palm trees, out towards Cat. It's a couple of early kills. It's now 3 more for Surge, and well, that's going to be all 4 dead. You have them spawning in the back, 28 seconds left. You will take that. Now, what do FaZe want to do? We fight and scrap? Are we rotating towards Art? It looks like Simp, he is gone. The rest of the players maybe going to stay for a bit, but a great break there on this P2 from Surge.
Beautiful break, and then the next wave leads to all the time. Cell's going to get a couple, maybe alleviate pressure, allow kind of Simp to get freedom on the other side and get the early rotation, try to keep P4 side during the course of this P3, but he's going to have some pressure starting to brew now, as leaving the old Hardpoint will be Surge. Neptune on 4 straight, great start from 04, who's been a different beast here on land when you talk about the respawns. Simp, though, going to get picked. It's a big gunfight win for Nasty, so keep an eye on him. Likely going to flip spawns. That's exactly what's going to happen. He'll spawn 2 of his teammates out Art. That's one of those big gunfight wins. Nasty's been crucial in this matchup.
Yeah, it's a big middle of the map setup, though, from FaZe, and pretty much what they're saying is, we're just going to take this time, right? This is normally where Surge is so strong, is just taking time at P3, then playing around the break. 04, though, couple of headshots coming to play, spawns flip once again. So you get around 20 seconds. Now both teams fighting for control.
Yeah, I mean, everyone wants to have left side control early, but more often than not, we're going to flip a couple of times before we actually get to the P4. What, 15 or so points between them, nothing too crazy. FaZe just trying to keep Surge out of the point, make sure they can't do what they do so well, like you talked about, and just soaking up some free time at a, I don't know, split-heavy Hardpoint. With 5 seconds left, these are the big gunfights now. Next Hardpoint, ready to pop. Number 6 and Sip is going to drop, and that's going to be 2 players spawning out now for Atlanta FaZe. They're trying to rally back, but the numbers are here for Vancouver Surge. Off to the races we go. A chance maybe to hit the gap, but the fire already going to be there from the ARs of Surge. And when the big gunfights went down, it's Surge winning them all.
And that's just what it is. Surge, no, they just need to find kills with 5 to 10 seconds left, right? They have a 3 versus 2. 04 is able to get on through, break the spawns, but now can they hold on? 04, what a start from him, 12-4. Now just soaked it up this time. You have a BZ working the flank. Well, you might be waiting for him. Nasty's gonna get taken down. Maybe a chance here for FaZe behind the BZs too.
And man, we have been critical of 04 at times, just with his online play and consistency and respawns, but also talked about where they're playing online, how hard it can be for them from Vancouver. But get him to land, bro. He has been a monster. 13-4, still ripping and roaring. Break comes in for FaZe, and they'll get some of this time to try and keep it a little more competitive. But as close as it is, you feel good if you're Surge. You got a pretty solid lead with some really great breaks. If you're FaZe, you're probably thinking just a couple of mistakes and we're in a much better spot.
Yeah, just early holds, right? Yeah, early holds at P2 for FaZe, and then the hill doesn't pop yet, but you just die at the wrong time if you're FaZe on that P4 rotation. But yeah, 14-5 and 04. Honestly, he struggled individually in this matchup versus FaZe, right? He would love to play better versus them, and he's doing it right now on a Sunday.
he is. It is not the names you saw in the online matchups popping off for Surge. But the fact is, somebody is popping off, and now it's the whole team popping off. FaZe gonna get spawned out and cut down. You'll take all this time. You're building this lead on Vault. Things looking so good for Surge. You gotta imagine FaZe are gonna get something going at some point. Can you deal with that run from them if you're Surge? That time might be now. There's a big wave, 20 seconds remaining, so you do have time to get out of your Surge. Trying to get pushed up as number 5 and Cell to kind of cut the reinforcements, make it not an easy rotation over towards P2. Surge, though, he got a significant lead. You're up about 60. You're feeling good. 04 is leading the way. I want to hear the comms from Vancouver Surge.
I'll be top cat.
Yo, one way pool,
I'll be pitch track, dude. Okay, I'll
What's
pull.
your cat? What's your cat?
I cat, two cat. Dead, one more cat.
I'm a cat. Nothing cat, nothing cat. Yeah, nice. On the pump.
Nice, back to back.
Your bike's up there.
Place spawner, place spawners.
Pitch track. Nice, one on time. I'll beat you one on time, okay?
Deep right, south.
Keep right.
One time, nice. One on time.
They're both in the back.
Okay, I'm playing with you on that.
Back there.
Okay, I'm minding my back. I can come out. The back, two. That's on the back. Two back right. I'll beat you the back right, chill.
Back right.
I don't know time. That's one. One on time, chill.
Right side top.
I'll beat you back right.
Stay right side.
One side, I'm dead.
Alright, yo, light. Yo, feature
Okay.
light. Yo, don't flip. Do not
Yeah.
flip.
I'm on HP.
Bucket cat.
Yo, let's
One's gonna be mid.
Cast that, one shot.
One can be
Hold
mid.
right. I'll hold right.
Yeah, hold right.
Yeah, it's still mid.
He's already right. Peek porch.
Da.
I'm minding my mid.
Go.
Mid line cut on you. Line cut, 1 HP. 1 HP line cut, under you.
Bring it, chef.
Yo, cast that.
Team was under you.
Mid.
Yeah, mid on. Yeah, this one next to go on.
Yeah, one's in the back, I think.
Okay, well, I'm minding my left.
Close. Yo, close and lights.
Mid on. One HP mid, okay? He's lay down on the step. Yeah, stay down. Nice, stay down, was mid up. I need flip. Yeah, I'm gonna try.
Make sure we control mid.
I'm watching my left.
Yeah, I'm getting cat. Right side is still kind of open.
Yo, one's on me.
Yo, cat.
Top good, I can't drop.
One's on me open.
One shit top good.
Don't die.
Yeah.
Yo, Able's cat.
Hold my line.
Yeah, I'll try, give me a second. I'll watch it, I'm doing for line, okay? No, left open. Line.
Two running up taxi.
I thought watch your left. Yeah, I'll be left. Two on left, one on left. Sit down, two on the left.
Still a tight one. The play clock going to be in consideration again with just over 2 minutes to go, but a fresh P4 has popped. Vancouver Surge in position. Pressure on FaZe now to break.
Yeah, this might be the game. I mean, you talk about this 20-point lead, but this could be, 80 or 90 after this hill. You heard it in the listening. Don't die. He was able to spawn up safely after getting taken down. And well, all 4 players are here, but well, FaZe feels like at some point they're going to get on through. They have 2 players in the hill. Someone's going to go on the pinch. That is Simp. A slow game from him and Draza, especially off that start from Draza that we saw earlier, but a BZ and Cell going off.
Yeah, Draza was like 5 and 1, now 11 and 20. They put him in a body bag, but yeah, you have 2 players having a slow start. You're getting outslayed. Cell's carrying you a bit, but you're still in striking distance, only down 20. Surge have got to try and take advantage of some of these situations in the slow start from FaZe. Can they walk away with the map 1? They couldn't do it the first 2 times they played. Maybe they can do it here, but they're lining up in front for Simp, and maybe this 4 spree will get him going. We know yesterday he was slow, then he was a cheetah as he came alive with a 12 spree to call game at the tail end of that red car versus C9. Not seen anything like that yet out of him, but maybe that'll get him heated up, and with this early time, maybe we got a lead change looming. FaZe starting to roar.
Yeah, they did just that play clock. You would have to imagine. I mean, no one's even close to 200 quite yet.
It might be. We'll see if it becomes interesting.
Yeah, it might just come down to that P2. Last time, FaZe did such a better job with the early onslaught from Surge. That's how they got back into this game. It's going to be a couple of dead now for FaZe. Surge on the hill, just chipping away.
Chipping away is right. Taking a route around the back will be a BZ. We'll see if they're able to pick this up. They go to pick it up, and they pick it up perfectly. Nice job by Neptune. Got the internal timing, shuts down the route, and continue to get this time. It's been fantastic time here at P1. You'll likely have an early setup for FaZe at P2 again, but it's not going to be a clean one. Not going to be a clean one, and maybe not a setup whatsoever. You get all the kills of your Vancouver Surge. Spawning out in Narnia is going to be Atlanta FaZe. They're all the way out in Art and trying to cross. Neptune's got the angle, and he's shutting them down. The ARs, the subs, everybody doing it right for Vancouver Surge, and you're in a fantastic spot to close out this map.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. He's just got both weapons, so he's just switching it up. Simp finally able to take him down. You're going to need a break. Abizi was able to earn a Hellstorm. So we're gonna try to just flood on through towards the front. What does he connect with? There's gonna be the first. The call out to Nasty, but Nasty takes down 2. Again, so good versus FaZe throughout the year. Can 04 hang on, trying to find 29. 5 in a row from 04. He's got over 2 minutes on the hill as well. The man is doing it all.
04, an absolute monster. But yeah, the streak gets one. After that, though, it's all Nasty in 04. And you've got near a perfect hold here at the point. You've got to scramble towards this if you're FaZe, because you're getting towards a winning condition. You're at 220 if you're Vancouver Surge. And this has been unbelievable, but taking a look there, you saw the map 1s over stage 2. It has been all FaZe, but they are in trouble right now.
Yeah, 10-0 in map 1s, a key to their stage 2, but it's looking a little bit differently. We saw from 04, he has a Hellstorm to work with. P4 and P3 in position will be Nasty, so he's just controlling this, and you can just take your time. This is what we talked about, 219. Every single moment you are on that hill, the pressure is over to FaZe.
Absolutely, and they're able to get into it for now. And but look at this setup you've now got. How far you've got them spawning out. This has been picture-perfect Hardpoint over the last minute or 2 for Vancouver Surge, and you were so close from calling game. FaZe at least able to pick the player out of the Hardpoint, maybe alleviate some of the pressure from a score standpoint, but now dipping their toes will be Neptune. Trying to get some nades onto him. The cover fire is there, though, for 04. He's picking up cuts as well, but not able to win the fight. 14 points now needed. You need something insane to go right for you right now if you are FaZe. Because down 80, play clock becoming an issue as well with just over a minute. How the hell are you going to get this done, Joe?
Yeah, well, and they're also going to call in a Hellstorm. I actually love this to secure this rotation. Nobody's really watching Art, though, so number 7's going to be on through. There's a BZ up top, so Neptune's going to chow with it, and that's been the difference. There's been a lot of AR presence, and I think maybe that is, you know, why Draza is struggling, but they're in the hill now. FaZe have to break on through.
Here comes the big break opportunity. A couple players maybe getting through or not. Abuza trying to dip, dive, and snap as he's getting swarmed, but you win the fight again, and that will seal it. Surge striking first and finally able to take the map 1 vault.
Man, what a map from 04. 36 in 20, over 4,000 damage. 2 minutes and 15 seconds on the hill. He has been self-critical. And well, he is bringing it so far on Championship Sunday.
He absolutely is. I mean, for the most part, you have, what, 10 to 20 points separating these teams, and they're almost 30 through, like, the mid-game. But, man, once they started to pull away, you have that perfect P2 hold. It really gets going at the P1 before that. It is just excellence there, and Draws, after starting out strong, just puts up a dud. He's going to have to turn it around big time because you're getting it out of everybody on Surge. Like, I know 04 has a big one, but, like, everyone's producing right now. Everyone's there in the damage. And it is a 1-0 edge now for Vancouver Surge, and they are feeling good.
Well, and I mean, you're thinking about this is sort of the map that you've struggled with versus this team, right? In the 2 series, you have lost both of the vaults. Elsewhere, you have been fantastic.
Yeah, I know they had to beat them at 5 the one time, but the other time they lost this, they rip off 3 right after that. So now you're in the driver's seat even more than you already are. I mean, I think for a lot of people, you know, FaZe are probably the favorite here, just based on the fact they won the last major, they won EWC, this core roster, they're the number 1 team, yes, so on and so forth. But in this particular matchup as of late, it has been all Surge, and now they've got to have even more confidence after the map 1 victory. We'll take a look at some of the highlights here before we get into the search and destroy. But man, 04 was wheeling and dealing early.
Well, it's just like when they're finding their kills. It really is on the side of Surge. They're finding it right before the hills are going to pop. They flip the spawns out. They did it at the P4 first time through. They did it at that P2 on the second time through. And you can just tell it puts FaZe in such an uncomfortable position when they're just earning all of this time. This is when Neptune, yeah, he's gonna find it. You see Nasty working up the minimap, flips it. As you said, they were spawning in Narnia with 10 seconds left at P1.
They were, and like the strength of this FaZe team in Hardpoint has been rotating and holding. It has not been breaking. No, break was what we said for years with them, but that has not been the recipe for success for this team in Hardpoint. And they were put in a position where, yeah, you not only had to break, but like you didn't have like spawns anywhere close. You didn't have easy opportunities to flood the Hardpoint. You were getting, I mean, those setups were incredible. I mean, right before that P2 was insane. You had them spawning hard. It's like, okay,
yeah,
great
good luck.
Yes, and Neptune's getting shots into you off the spawn. Like, that was like the perfect setup there. We said for a long time, it felt like this team, when talking about Surge, they were a bit ahead in Hardpoint. You saw some of the reasons there. Like, they can be so good at taking advantage of situations. Now on the other side of this, you know, FaZe, you know, you have such a good stretch there when you talk about their Hardpoint. The thing that they kept talking about, we've mentioned it a million times, we're beating a dead horse at this point, but it was search and destroy, search and destroy, search and destroy. They didn't have the best qualifier, but they said they were trying to improve. That was the main focus for them. See.
Yeah, it's how they won Major 1, right? That best of 7, they won 3 of them, but this is a team they've struggled with. 0-3 in Search and Destroy. They've tried Red Card, so we're going to get that again, but yeah, they've lost it 6-4. We'll see if there's some adjustments. Again, you know, tournaments are always a little bit differently. The night before, a lot of preparation from the coaches. What strats do they like to run? But on the Surge side, I mean, you have not lost this yet with Neptune.
No, you haven't. I mean, that's probably the thing that shifts the most between online and playing. It's definitely the Surge play, right? Like, for the most part, nothing's going to change that much when you talk about Hardpoint, except, well, to a degree, like, if you have different players in your team going off, I'm sure it changes some stuff for a team, but strats-wise, you're going to see stuff at Majors. Maybe you'll get creative online, but you're going to see everybody really pulling out all the stops and Search and Destroy on LAN, and FaZe are going to need it now. Draza, a guy so filled with confidence, and he'll play behind that swagger. He puts up a dud in the map 1, he'll be trying to bounce back, but, and you know, like, with FaZe, even though they've won the last 2 events, like, going back to last year, I'm still sure, like, some days have to be in their mindset. Just with all the second places, with all the top 3s.
Forever.
You lose a map, it's still going to be in your head a bit, even though you've won so much. But for the remaining teams, we take a look at the S&D, KD leaders, and what do you know? Tiny Terror's at the top, and they're going to need every bit of that. You got Cell rounding it out as well.
Yeah, and then 0-4 at number 3, right? And 0-4 is a player on Red Card, especially where we have casted him, and it feels like double digits or 2. He is a guy that's going to try to find openings, try to find those flank routes, put a lot of presence inside a ticket on this map, and we'll see if the timings go his way.
Yeah, this is where we last kind of talked about in casting the FaZe side, like Abizi. Usually you see him sub out, aggression, flying at you, finding first bloods. Like, he was mostly like AR out, kind of the guy watching like the push through, watching the flank routes. He was playing some different spots. We'll see about, you know, you just think like you'd see him out hedges, right? Like, that's where you typically see him, like hedges and lobby looking to make plays. But usually, defensively, he'll be kind of playing sneaky on the site. And then a lot of their offenses, like AR out, just waiting for like that camera push through.
Yeah, you switch up your default a little bit. Maybe if he's uncomfortable, you know, working towards an A bomb site, just, let him watch the flank, and that's what you're going to see right here. He's going to right over towards camera with that AR.
Well, right over to camera and right into a nade, but he is able to get out of that. Little stun check to see if they push behind it, but no pressure coming. Little game of dodgeball early on as no one's got trophies to use, but they're building towards it. FaZe trying to connect on their utility deep as they work out towards A. Still have a BZ deep. Trying to read things on maybe the wrap through.
You're just playing retake at this point. I mean, you're going to have Abuza watching across. That's the info, but he's going to play his life. Now look at the rest of the Surge members. They're going to start to rotate on over. Here comes a lot of mid-pressure, but bomb being planted.
You get it in, but they're going to swarm on this quick. Did Simp get out of this alive? They're trying to lock him in. It looks like he's been able to back up and at least put the bomb heading for now. The nade will connect. It's going to do some damage. Simp somehow still staying up, though. Inabizi able to get one onto a 4, so still getting first bloods despite the change in positioning. Abuza trying to bring it back. Cell going to drop one. And one by one they fall. FaZe able to strike first. Abizi doing his job, kind of playing the push through man, and Simp getting bombed down, and great job staying alive.
Yeah, I don't know how he stays alive.
No, once that nade hit, I'm thinking there's going to be fire from somewhere.
Yeah, it's almost like that grenade smoke helps him out, but yeah, he's just able to play his life. The team shot is in there towards the end of that round, but that's sort of your first offensive default, right, if you're FaZe. I mean, you and I know what they're doing.
Yep.
So you get a victory there, and that's always a good thing, because now you can make some adjustments off of that, try to read the map. 0-4, he tried to go on towards the flank, but Abizi was able to pick him up.
Yeah, I mean, you knowing something's a little different than me. You see something once and remember. I need to see something about 20 times before I understand it's a default, but that's why I have you. But now let's see what Surge you're able to muster up. It'll be Nasty, kind of playing towards that position where we saw Abizi, and kind of a similar workup like we saw on the other side of it. The nades will hit, but no picks actually in.
Abizi's going quick.
0-4 trying to hit a rainbow, but that's going to be eaten up by a trophy. Abizi will be quick, but it's the other side that hits the nade of the Tiny Terror. Simple get that opener with the first blood. Abizi finds the timing. He's able to pick up Nasty. He's probably like, I know the spots you're playing. I play the same exact position. I'm just a little better at it.
Yeah, Nasty was trying to rotate back, maybe catch him on the flank, but Abizi was so quick there. He just goes. Maybe because the nades connect, right? So they know sort of the push is going to stop. Slows things down, and Abizi, the comms from him are just like, stay up. That's when you saw Simp. Just play bottom stage, wait for him. He's able to find a couple of kills and close out the round.
Yeah, we saw this, last for FaZe in the Rocker matchup. And like that wasn't, I don't want to compare really Rocker and their form currently to Surge, but where they found success was like, they ended up getting frustrated, just kind of hitting stuff, right? Like they could not find any openings on the map. Anytime it was sort of your default setup, FaZe were absolutely obliterating them. They finally, it was like, they ended up winning 3 rounds, but it was like defensive, just hits, offensive hits, just flying at stuff like through lobby.
3 or 4 through mid.
Yeah. And I'm not sure Surge have to do that yet, but felt like FaZe got under Rocker's skin. Just not leaving really any openings to allow the playmakers to find anything like your 0-4s of the world.
And here's the switch up, right? So aBeZy has sub out. So I'm thinking maybe if they get bomb planted, they're going to potentially push through A. So something a little bit different from the FaZe side. You are going to have Celium on the flank. A great nade from aBeZy to back down Abuza now. Can you work this objective?
Oh, nice little counter nade, though, to make sure there's no more pressure. A second nade not able to hit, though, maybe finish him off. Well, 2 are going to hit, I think, onto draws, but he just barely stays alive with 14 HP.
All the Surge are here.
They're grouped up. Seth can't get across. aBeZy, though, able to trade 1 out, but not in the best position. He'll get dropped. Good tracking there from draws as we get into this 2 versus 2. A 4 and Abuza versus Cell and draws. We take a breath here for a moment, or do we? Draws is just going to chow and win the fight. Nice slide out to the bomb, Heady, and then Cell wins the last one. FaZe remaining perfect. Yeah, I thought they were chilling for a moment, regrouping, but second draws got back to full health. He's like, I'm taking this fight. And that's what I love him. He's going to play with confidence, even if he got smacked around the map 1.
Yeah, no 4 and Abuza. The reason they take that so slow is they have no idea where Cell is. So you have to worry about your Windows flank. They're not exactly sure where MC is on the map. He hasn't shown any presence yet. And since there was such a quick rotation, all 4 members of Surge were there. They're just sort of waiting in the 2 versus 2. Draws, though, with a big confidence gunfight, you would have to think, to make it a 1 versus 2. Now they're up 3-0.
Confidence gunfight. Absolutely what that was. I know you had the bomb Heady there, but still. He didn't have to chow that way. He did, though. And this is what we're kind of talking about before. I mean, he had a great map 1, but he can be the literal hard carry in Search and Destroy. Is he able to start finding some openings for this team? What a playmaker he can be. His mark in S&D felt the second he came into the league.
I say aBeZy's got to be careful here. He's the lone man on an island. You see the other 3 players. Celium's going to rotate quick. Door's going to open up, and while Celium just gets there in time. If 0-4 goes earlier, Pride catches aBeZy, but now everyone is here on a quick rotate.
Yep, we're all grouped up, and now we're getting ready to party. 0-4 wants to go. Cell going to get tagged, but the crossfire is there. Simp able to shut down 2. It's falling apart quickly. Here for Surge, Abuza just can't find the angle. What a delicate dance it can be over towards B. A crazy win from Neptune, but that's all you're going to get. FaZe remaining perfect, and so far it's looking like all we heard, all qualifier, all the focus on Search and Destroy, it's paying off right now.
Yeah, and when you sort of slow down, if you're 0-4 and you're in that spot, I mean, listen, it's tough to just run through a door and try to take a one-on-one when you're down 0-3. But as soon as the timings kind of make sense to FaZe, all 4 players then rotate. That is what they want. It's when they get caught off guard where they're surprised. But yeah, as soon as they see nothing outside, Celium's going to rotate. He's going to help out aBeZy. 0-4 tries to make the play, just a little bit too slow.
Yeah, and it's just tough. I mean, obviously we can see everything on the map. We know how it's being played out, but like,
the players have timings.
yes, you have timings, and sometimes you just have to take a gamble. Call that they don't have a stack there early on.
Oh wow,
You've had some very different
powerful
looks.
glutes right there.
Yeah, it really is. You've had some very different looks here, offensively. For Atlanta FaZe. Quick on the flank, though. I think finding an opening, so we number 4. Neptune does get through. He's going to be able to tag one from behind. Cell, I think, should trade that out pretty quickly, but will it be too late? It'll be way too late. It's a little bit windy. He's going to get cut down, chased down. Surge, deal with it. And yeah, I'd have to watch it back again to see how Neptune kind of got through, but it looked like it was early pressure kind of from Draws and aBeZy as they were working up towards camera.
Yeah, Neptune
Cell
just
should have been the
opening.
guy kind of dealing with that. He just found an opening.
Yeah, he finds the opening. It can be tough on the flank sometimes. You got to watch a lot of different angles. But again, just sort of switching up the timings, and I think he does there. So quick on the flank, they're cut off guard, and they just get smoked.
Yeah, and that for the FaZe side, something you can't allow to happen because that just literally shuts your round down pretty much instantly once somebody gets through. But you're right. You have to, you got to watch multiple locations on the wrap through. Neptune ends up getting 3. Dissects that round, and finally something positive to think about for Surge in the Search and Destroy. Car out, though. playing for info on the FaZe side. They're able to deal with that, does some damage to 04, but you're trying to lock them in, but that's going to make it harder. Cell's going to drop. That's going to make you, in a BZ, have to rotate quickly here, I would think, because they are picking them apart. Great little two-man game towards the backside of it. Abizi will get over and able to finish up one, but that's all you allow him to do. Great aggression here out of Surge, and honestly, that opening pick onto the backline and Cell just opens up everything for you.
Yeah, and then 04 able to play his life, right? And just sort of wait for his teammates to get there. So you're thinking maybe Draza has a kill. Maybe to force a 2-on-2 or at least another trade, but doesn't happen, so Simp left in a 1 versus 3.
Yeah, and you'd love to maybe have an AR to pick one and give you an opening. With a sub, it's going to be so hard to do, and it's getting harder second by second. Probably more opportunities to take a sub fight from this angle. But he's not going to get one. Nearly a little turn and burn, but it wouldn't have mattered much. Back-to-back rounds now for Surge. Starting to make some adjustments. And it seems like they're starting to play with a little more pace and just make things happen before the rotation comes in for FaZe.
Yeah, that's kind of 2 rounds on Cellium, right? One on the flank, just gets bad timing with Neptune, and then right there gets first blooded, a guy who, well, we normally don't see that, right? He loves to just play his life, be so difficult to take down.
That's his gimmick, wants to be the hardest kill in the league. There, though, they make it look easy, and, well, you win back-to-back rounds, and a big part of this is Neptune. He's now on 5 straight. He gets, what, 3 2 rounds ago, 2 in this one. He has been just a breath of fresh air, a superstar, a lightning plug, whatever you want to call it for this Surge team. He has been everything and more. And it seems like even now, when he's not having his best game, it stepped everything else up for the rest of the team. So BZ back to that spot kind of from round 1, but this time sub in hand, yeah?
Yeah, it looked like they were trying to catch someone maybe on an early flank. Neptune just sort of hanging out around P1. So I think they were starting to go over towards A, then maybe wrap back towards B. Don't catch anyone on the flank, so now they're going to go.
You should get the comms over. It's like, when does Neptune go? What is the timing going to be like for Neptune? And also wrapping deep will be 04.
If you counter this by pushing their side, that could be the play call. Abizi's gonna fly on through. Here starts the trades. Do FaZe read this? Not quite yet. Now they know what they have to do, but you're getting different looks. Draws, though, left in a 1 versus 3. Finds the first.
There we
already
go.
so quick
Here we
is
go.
04 and Neptune. And this is what you're starting to see. Great adjustments from the Surge side. Should have a Hellstorm, and you're pretty darn close if you're Neptune.
7 straight. 3 rounds in a row. I mean, you were getting bottled up. There was really nothing positive to write home about if you were Surge through the first 4. But now you rip off 3 straight, and suddenly the team feeling the pressure. It's going to be Atlanta FaZe. What a stretch here from Neptune. Yeah, we'll see if he can get the streak and when that comes in.
And I don't know if it's just because they won the round 1. They think Abizi's going to work the flank or be there, so he's going to be playing that side of the map. Let's just stack A, but that hasn't been the play call from Surge. They've worked the flank a lot, and Abizi's gotten caught in some tough positions around that middle staircase on offense.
Yeah, it's almost like through the first 4 rounds, yeah, they thought they were going to get Surge to do some things that they're not doing. Well, now if you're FaZe, you could really use one. Surge close to tying this thing up. Neptune has become the unkillable. They're working up to execute over towards B. The one time they did try this, it didn't work out. They were a little bit hesitant. It was 04 leading the way. Well, 04 is not going to be there to lead the way this time. He's going to get picked.
I think this was supposed to be a fake, so 04 cannot die there, right? You have bomb all the way in spawn, flank towards A. Now number 6 in Simp is just going to play for info. They'll play a retake either site.
This is where you're FaZe. You don't want to give away a freebie. Nasty trying to take his time and look for an opening. Wins a wild one, but the trade is there. Neptune tries to collapse. Not going to be able to make any magic happen. His streak will come to an end. I don't think any streak could be earned for him either. Bomb carrier and Abuza, the deep man, last one up, and he just barely gets away with his life. He's like, screw it. Let's plant this and know where they're at. Let's try and clutch up in a 1 versus 3. And listen, it is winnable. It's just not going to be easy. Here they come.
Just nothing.
Absolutely nothing. You're playing a little bit of a guessing game there. All 3 going to push through the backside of it, and you get shut down. Big one there for FaZe. You needed it. Things were starting to unravel as Surge was making adjustments.
Yeah, and you see the effects of these first bloods, right? Like you're trying to throw a fake with 04 and Neptune over towards B, force a rotate, but he gets picked, and like that play just, well, it goes away quickly.
And first blood-wise, what, 4-4? I think between the squads right now. You could really use a stretch of those or another Hercules-like effort out of Neptune if you're going to bring this one back. There's a round away from tying up the series now. Will be FaZe, and if you think about the map 3 and you talk about Proto, it's what? One team's 3-0'd the other the 2 times they played, so who the hell knows what's going to happen there? Because 3-0s aren't even that common on that map, much less within like a week of playing to do it again, just the other team. It's kind of insane, but we'll see. The Neptune car out. And we'll see how FaZe then play behind this. Like it 04. Kind of working up through the lobby.
A lot of space taken by that number 1. Let's see what happens here. Do they check that corner?
I mean, this is Abizi's kind of back to that default round 1 where he'll be the guy to deal with that. 04 just trying to use any cues, any comms to find that opening. It's going to be him versus Abizi eventually. We'll see when that develops, but Simp is going to get put in a body bag. Neptune gets back to his playmaking. That's going to shift Abizi over. Does he pick it up, though? Is he able to read on the other side as well? He got one, and kind of picks it up, but it's a little bit too late. 04 finds the timing, gets the kill, and it's Neptune first blood that leads to all of that being able to happen.
Yeah, it just adjusts the setup, right? Abizi then has to worry about the middle of the map, so flank is open. 04 knows that all of a sudden. You're selling him in a 1 versus 3. This guy has some crazy ones, is able to find Abuza, has the bomb, should be able to get there in time.
Yeah, they'll probably just chase him down and catch him. Can he get it down and actually get to a spot to do anything?
Toes.
Not going to happen. Well, his really only chance to win the round there. But yeah, Neptune with the lobby chow. Abizi nearly makes the insane play. The help through mid, then the read back to the push through, but the angle and timing there for 04. He's got sub in hand. He's got that sub advantage, and he takes it.
Yeah, it's just a 2-man game between 04 and Neptune. Right, they talked about it when they made this roster change happen. They just worked off each other so well, but yeah, 04 knows Abizi has to adjust then. And he's just got the sub in hand, able to win that gunfight.
Oh yeah, I mean, he didn't move an inch until that. That's what you're waiting for. So we go all the way. Haven't found success on this push yet. Oh, might catch Abizi though. He's trying to get out. He's going to scurry away. Now Celis here on the rotate. 2 are going to push through though. It doesn't look like they're going to group up in the back, so you're going to have numbers here for a while if you're Surge. You can take the plant, just force the retake.
Abuza got shot at, but not didn't expect Simp. The players on the flank just getting picked apart. So now do you push on through?
Exactly. It's like you have numbers. Do you just push through this, or you just take your plant? For now, they're staying gun up. They don't want there to be an awkward timing.
So now they're too late though. All 4 members of FaZe are here.
Still doable for Surge to hold. Nade's going to do damage, and that might seal the game. The double nade's going to go in. Gunfight win from Draws. Last player up is going to be Nasty, and they are hunting him down. Position given up and nowhere to hide. Can't win the fight on the bomb site, and despite a crazy run there in the mid-game from Surge, it's FaZe with the Search and Destroy victory. They're going to win this tournament. Despite how good their hardpoint is, you know it's going to be in the back of their Search and Destroy.
We don't get a lot of sort of, I don't know, in this title, the Search and Destroy, there's a lot of mid-game adjustments between both those teams.
That was one of like the legitimately fun Search and Destroys.
Yeah, Red Card is like maybe one of the few maps, that and Hacienda, that we have where it's not just sort of these 4-on-4 retakes, instant chaos, and that was a great one to watch.
No, it really, really was. That was fun, and yeah, it's 1-1 now, and we go to Proto, and Proto, I still think it's insane, like that. Yes, a lot of times that's one that'll go to around 5, sometimes around 4. It's not that many 3-0s. Just the fact they did it to each other, I got no clue. Who do you favor in that?
I don't know if I favor either.
Well, what was your stat you told me before this in the back half of the series? It was like 2 map losses for Surge.
Yeah, 13-2.
For what, the last 3 or last 4? Last 4. Okay, well, 13-3 now.
I mean, Protocol, when this team formed, like that's where they dominated, right? Was this Protocol controlled it pretty much the entire map, every 100%. Single game mode.
Well, that was your big thing. When I said they were the real deal, you're like, I need to see someone take Proto away. Take Proto away and let's see how good they are. Well, you don't take Proto away here. You're gonna get a good amount of Proto with the control and the Search and Destroy. But we're tied up 1-1. We continue to go deeper. I assume this was a series that had potential to go 4-5 just based on the last couple of times they play, but we'll see if that's the case. We're yet to have a map 5 on the weekend. Maybe this will be the one, but to break down the first 2, let's kick it to the desk before we get to the control.
Thank you very much, Maven. No, it's still Miles. Sorry, folks. That's right. Chris is watching. Hope you're good, Chris. We miss you, buddy, but we don't miss another 3-0. That's right. We're going to get a map 4 at the very least. Friends, Chance, give me the hard point.
I mean, 0-4 pretty much dominated the entire time. I think like Surge, especially on Vault, whether it be Control or Hardpoint, they have everything dialed in. They're a very mechanical team. They literally had the P4 rotation on lock every single time, so they're just able to play a very comfortable game.
Talk map 2 as well. Of course, Search and Destroy goes the way of FaZe. Thank God. But here we go. Look at the highlights again, folks. And a lot of great stuff here, Ali. We saw endless plays.
Endless. I would rewatch this S&D a couple times over. Other than the first 3 rounds for Atlanta FaZe, I mean, that's where they run away with it, right? You give them that opening 3 rounds, incredibly dominant from the side of Atlanta FaZe, and the adjustments from the side of Vancouver Surge, though, were amazing. It's just unfortunate in that round number 4, 0-4, he gets in the secret, right? Like, you get that push-up, you got that information, and he decides to be the engage for some reason. He flies in first. I feel like we should have gone outer first side on B, try to make some noise and allow him to then slide in. He gets blooded right away, and that puts them kind of in a box if you're Vancouver Surge. And then the following rounds, great plays all around, but it was just a little bit too late.
Yeah, you know, think about Vancouver in this map, like the defense was phenomenal. They had some, you know, great blind counters. They all pushed through B. You know, you get that first blood, and then you're able to just overwhelm them. And then the next round, you see like the staggered push up through mid with Neptune. It was really just the offenses that were so difficult for them. Every team that tries to go B against Atlanta FaZe, you either run into a BZ and he gets the first blood, which we saw towards the end of that on 0-4, and then when they tried to go B at the very end, you're leaving a guy in spawn to play the pinch, which, you know, it's kind of a default. A lot of teams do that. Abuza gets killed and you don't decide to push through. Atlanta FaZe are just so good at recognizing once you're in B, where everybody's at, what your objective is going to be, and they just execute at such a high level.
And I think Miles and Chance said it perfectly. Like, of course, in that round, Atlanta FaZe is the only team that would still have their frags at that point for that B retake. I mean, just perfect timing those nades out of both of them to open up that site. I mean, Atlanta FaZe, Search and Destroy was a worry point for me, but clearly they're handed toe-to-toe.
They needed it.
They needed it.
Absolutely. Well, there we go. We got a Control after this one, but before that, we have our scuffed play of the game. And if I were at home, I'd be like, yo, Alexa, play the kill by 30 seconds to Mars, because it's a montage, baby. It's all 0-4 from map 1, Chance.
I mean, absolutely, God, like, this guy's belly flopping around the map as well, picking up pieces. And, like, Neptune has been the key for them on the Vault Hardpoint. He's the one going toe-to-toe against Atlanta FaZe, and where he had a bit of a slow game, 0-4 picked him up and then some. And this is 0-4's, what, 2nd year competing, like his 7th LAN he's ever played at. He's a very fresh face, and the fact that he's making montages against the Tears is incredible work
like this
for a dominant win.
And this is the map he's dropping 40 bombs on, too. Like, I'm shocked we're letting Vault Hardpoint in this series. Still, this guy's been unreal.
It was a key map victory, right? You lose the Search and Destroy, and for Vault Hardpoint in both of the series, Atlanta FaZe had taken it, so they needed that desperately.
Needed it, they got it, but FaZe bounced back. So we go into the Control tied up. But we're not going into the Control just yet, folks. That's right, plenty more tournaments coming your way. We're going to Boca Raton next, Major 3, but Major 4, we're going to DreamHack, folks. That's right, there is a lot going on. And again, this is taking place May 23rd to the 25th, back here in Dallas. Tickets are on sale now, dreamhack.com/Dallas/CDL. Challenger passes are available as well. And DreamHack just looks absolutely amazing. There's a lot of other games taking place, and there's all sorts going on.
Have you guys ever been to a DreamHack?
Nope.
You guys?
Yeah, I have.
It is absolutely amazing.
It's so fun. It's like a carnival for gaming, dude. People are cosplaying. There's different tournaments going on. They have like bring your own PC areas. It's unreal.
Well,
it's a good time.
Can't wait. Can't wait. We'll see you guys there as well. But for now, it's time to get back into the game. It's back over to our casters. It's American Meat.
Thank you so much, Miles. You're very, very wonderful and handsome. Who do you think Miles would cosplay as if he entered a cosplay competition?
Man.
I would say like Johnny Bravo with the hair.
Yeah, but he doesn't have long hair.
That's true. He could dye it, though.
Could.
Probably look good. Probably real good. I've always wanted to be in a cosplay competition, but the focus back to the winners bracket final.
You can play Jump Like One, guys, for sure.
I know what you want to say. Just don't say it yet.
What do you mean?
I can play any ball guy. You were thinking of one in particular when I get all the time.
Oh.
But no, we get ready to go deeper into this. The Proto.
Is he a plumber?
He's had a lot of things, Joe. He's had a lot of different jobs, from my understanding. But FaZe, you bounce back with a big victory there. Maybe alleviate some of the pressure you're feeling after dropping a map that you expected to win. You take a look at the superstar ARs and Control at Major 2. Cell been back to work. When he is in his bag, statistically, it feels like there is no one that can touch him.
No, I mean, like, I don't even know how to like compare it, but his numbers are always insane. We're just like used to this.
When I was looking back over some of the years and stuff, I was just looking through some like historical stuff, and I was looking at Vanguard, and like we were talking in Vanguard, like at the time it was like, what's going on with Cell? Like, bro, they're losing
It's like
points
a
by
1-4.
100, and he's like double positive. Like, what's going on? Like, is he kill whoring? What is happening? But then you look back at it, and like the stats of the other guys, like they're off years. And it's like he might be the only reason they got all those second places. Like,
Maybe.
but yeah, I'm sure there's a give and take to it, but yeah, he's had some years, some tournaments where it is truly remarkable the numbers he can put up.
Yeah, I mean, he is. He was like the one guy in map number 1 who was piecing up. Thought maybe he could get it done, but he loves protocol control. We just saw it there, 1.34 at the major. You know exactly where he's going to be, watching the flame from top 3 inside the Grandma's house. But on the other side, it's Surge. And they've played a lot of Vault, a lot of hot seat, because they are 4-1 throughout stage 2 on this map. Their only loss, well, is to FaZe.
Well, the last time we saw FaZe, though, and what's the Cloud9 match, they did not look good. They got slammed. They absolutely got slammed. Like Crimp and Mac were just in those cheeks round after round. They could get nothing going. Well, let's see if they study the VOD. Look for improvements here as they'll be off to the offensive side of it, and Draws is able to get a pick early. So is a BZ. Can't chain that into 2, because that might have been a great opener. You take out all the players outside of the window player. That, yeah, melee hits, maybe that goes differently, but not able to connect. Trying to find an opening is nasty, but that opening is shut down.
Yeah, one thing we always talk about with FaZe is sort of them just getting into like that setup, right? One player on A, one player pushed up, and what Cloud9 did so well is they didn't really let them out into that position very often, but the AR is able to find 3, Simp's gonna find the 4th, start to work this A objective, and there the arrows start to push on forward.
Yeah, you gotta think if Draws starts to pick it up after the double neg map 1, the respawn maybe look a little bit different for them, but slowly progressing this, Cell trying to maybe take too high of ground and he'll get shut down, but you hear the trophies absolutely eating on the map. You don't quite finish this point off. You feel it's just a matter of time before it's done, but Nasty trying to kind of thin the lines. You're down 4 lives. Surge still trying to keep this in the fight, but some good objective progress already for FaZe. Now you're trying to pinch this on both sides of it.
Yeah, now you're just kind of waiting on a BZ here.
Yeah, what does he opt to do? This isn't usually the side we'll see him working through if you're on A. 2 of his teammates drop. Cell's the only one that's able to get 1. Abizi wants to catch the timing before teammates come off spawn, but it's able to funnel that into his teammate Andraza.
But it's his round, his first kill that sort of gets them out of this position and back onto the A point. He's able to find 04, then have to worry about him. Abuza, 04, they're both able to find kills, but the A point going to be done. A minute added to the clock. It's going to be Celium inside of ammo, just controlling that staircase. Draza still trying to find kills in the middle of the map, and well, he does it with the pistol.
Does it with the pistol, and you're retaining kind of this life advantage. You're up 5, and you have all the time in the world to take this down to lives. Can you get a clean wave? If you can get like a beautiful 4 down here if you're Surge, this becomes so much more winnable.
I mean, that is like a...
What the hell is that?
Insane shots, that's what that is. I was gonna say, you were like an iron away from a BZ, maybe getting a 2-piece and being on B, but Simp plays his life, hits the headshots, now pauses the clock. The one player though, Nabuza, is all the way through on the flank.
I mean, you see people pick with an AR off the PC heady sometimes. Not usually like that, but after that, it is all Surge. That is exactly what you needed. All 4 dead. Abuza also pushed up the map. You still have time to work with. The time might not be the case. It's going to be a lives thing here. What can Neptune do? Can he get 2? He does. Neptune with a brilliant play to even up at 5 versus 5. He's like, I'm the hell out of here. What a play from Neptune. Don't overstay your welcome. It's like, it's my buddy 04's turn. Let's see what he can get done.
Sets up 04, one backs away, the other moves forward. Jump shot on Celium's forehead. It was a 5 life advantage for FaZe, now a 4 versus 3.
We're not done yet. We are not done yet, but the subs maybe giving Surge the round. They got to go, though. Simp's going to get dropped. Now going to be on Abizi and Draza to try and do this. Draza's going to get a pick. His position now given up. Under 10 seconds to go. They have to find the kills or work the objective. Draza taking the right fight, just not going to be gun up. Abizi, he's just going to send his body at it, and he'll get shut down. Some big clutches there, but Neptune, I mean, he does everything. The fact that he's able to win 2, get away, keep them guessing, and then just the perfect route and timing for 04, that little 2-man game ends up being everything to get the round victory.
And it's really the set of kills before this, right? Because
that's true.
That was behind
Simp. Yeah,
you had all the map control in the world if you were FaZe, but then you get a couple of kills from Nasty. The Neptune 04 able to do this in the base of FaZe, but yeah, you had a clean 4 dead to set these plays up.
Well, I thought they were going to have the clean 4 dead right before Simp won that gunfight because they were in a pretty good position. I was like, oh, there's your moment. But then he won that. You give FaZe another chance to kind of layer the map, but I think, what, like 30 seconds before that, I was like, you really need a 4 dead? Because there was just, what, you had like a minute 40 and a 5-life advantage after you got A? That's one you're going to want back if you're FaZe, but really it's just down to the playmaking from Surge.
Yeah, those were ones like, they just didn't lose online.
Those type of rounds?
Yeah, those rounds like that.
A BZ working one side, a 4 working the other. They're trying to shut him down, but well, now you got more things to worry about than that. I mean, BZ's the only one that's really finding a kill. He'll finally get dropped. Sip will bring one back, but he's traded out. This is going to be bodies and trophies now onto the A objective. Neptune, he gets back to dancing. Nearly incredible movement there to take this second fight, but man, when he's moving, he is a fun POV to watch.
I thought he was about to hit that slide, catch that second player. It's really just the AR slowing the map down on both sides. Like finding the picks, opening up the routes for the SMGs. 04, he's going to get on B. They also have some pressure on the B point. Oh, I thought the timing was going to go his way, but Celium just hits all headshots.
Yeah, no, that was straight heavies. He got nuked. Yeah, just ARs on either side for now. Flooding it through with kills. Little progress done, but not a whole lot on A. Tap B as well. That's a snap from Abuza, and now an opening out mid. You do have a BZ kind of hunting around their house, and he's actually able to pick them off at A. So he staggers us even more, and with 30 seconds left, that's a big one. Can he win the second fight? He's not able to do it. So Abuza's actually able to win that fight. This is your big chance for Surge, but the fact that the BZ's are so long, who's next? It's going to be Simp on the other side of it, so you're starting to thin the masses.
You just see how important like one kill is, right? When you have these setups from both of these squads. Allows your teammates to get to a better position, pick somebody up off spawn, and that's what we've seen throughout these rounds.
What do they get total ticks for the FaZe attack? It was just 3, right? Nothing on to B? Okay. So 1 here. Can you develop this into anything more? It doesn't look like that's going to be the case. His 3 gets shut down. Abuza not able to get towards his last guy up. So as good as the Surge answer in defense was, that's a lights out defense from FaZe. I mean, I think the Surge win's almost more impressive considering the circumstances, but
I mean, both teams have had great rebounds, right? Because you've had clean 3 to 4 deads.
That's true. That's true.
Sort of the attacking team in your base. But yeah, I mean, it was a BZ finding that one onto Abuza. Got them out of it.
There were probably, we didn't see his POV during it, but I think there were, even in the early part of that round, like there were 3 different scenarios where you're like probably 2-3 dead, and then a BZ gets 1 or 2 as he's just roguing around. If he doesn't, you know what that can turn into. You're suddenly getting trapped in. Or you're just left on an island if your teammates don't get any kills, which they eventually did. But he's a big part of why they're able to get out. We're tied up 1-1. Storia defense so far, 3-1 tick advantage to Atlanta FaZe. And yeah, you're just hoping if you can get the same kind of production early on, you're closing out this round this time if you're FaZe.
Yeah, that's it. Sort of once we get into our setups, are we more effective in our execution? A couple of kills going to go their way. That's going to send Simp on forward. Or keep Straza on the point with Celium in his favorite spot on the map.
Simp just putting in work from this A side elbow. Their progress is working again. I mean, it's been everything they want and more on A. Now you get a chance to really kind of transition this across.
And they should know where everybody is, right? Simp just cuts across the middle of the map. Sees 1. They should know where the last one is in number 4. That's going to be Neptune. He's the 1 player. But A is done. Simp's on 5 in a row. They're transitioning towards B. Celium is just trying to find Neptune. That's got to be the time right now. Where is this guy?
Yeah, they're looking for him everywhere. Simp is still on his tear, by the way. He's up to 7 straight. He has been plucking them apart over the last 90 seconds. Finally, his streak's going to come to an end, but you're up 10 lives already. There's 2 minutes and 12 seconds on the clock because you had a body on the point basically at every single moment. Now, as good as the comeback and response was in round 1 for Surge, this would be absurd. It's not happening.
Not happening.
I was like, you somehow stopped that from happening, but there's just no opportunity. That's about as good of an offensive round as you're going to see on Protocol.
No, that is perfection.
Literal
That's what
perfection.
That is. Like, just right from the get-go, they win the break. They get Simp pushed on up, and, well, he does what he does better than anybody else.
We were talking about this last night. Like, I don't feel like Simp goes on as many like 5+ sprees as a lot of players. Like, he doesn't always go on those. It just feels like when he does, he like calls game around.
Yeah,
like
double digits.
And it literally ends it. Big one from Simp, big one from FaZe, now up 2-1. Perfect offense, and while they had a lights-out defense last time, only gave up a tick. Really nothing to work with if you were Surge. What needs to change for Surge now in this offensive attack?
Well, I think they kind of have to do what FaZe did early, right? It's just sort of win your breakoffs, but that's not going to happen, and hopefully get done with that 8 point. But it's Cell with 5 in a row. You also have Draza in the middle of the map trying to deal with Abuza. 04 is going to pick that up. So you recover again after losing the break. Now they have to execute if you are Surge.
Okay, yeah, you lose the break kind of, and then you get every kill after that. You lose the first 2 or 3 players, and then you're just getting every single kill. This is what you needed. Can you finish off A as efficiently as FaZe just did? Second tick of progress is done. Neptune's still hunting and eating. They got to shut him down. Only on a 2 spree, but still influencing things, and they're able to finally close him out. But A does get done. The difference here, though, FaZe gets some kills in this moment. We're going to transition between points where FaZe got them all on offense as well.
Yeah, nice little 2-man game. It was from Celium and Abizi to get them out, and that allows Simp, guess what, to get pushed on forward, find 2 players off a spawn. They do find them. But yeah, minute 50, you're up a couple of lives, and you pretty much know where everybody is, but Abizi's going to find 3. He is just running at him.
Yeah, and that's a big 4 down, because now that 2-minute advantage you had, that kind of goes out the window. How long is it going to take for you to get out of here clean? How long does it take? It was at 2 minutes, now you're 4 dead again. How long are you in the meat grinder? You've got Simp and Abizi, probably the 2 deadliest to do it from this spot, both alive and applying pressure and just doing a great job just staying up, not over-challenging. 04, though, they line up awkwardly, and he's able to get both.
That's a big 2, because look where Celium is. He's a helicopter. He cannot really help out Draza. So Draza's able to find 2, slows down the reinforcements, allows Simp and Abizi to come off a spawn and find the other 2.
No. Okay, yeah, that's a heat check, I think, to shout.
No, that's I'm top middle. I might as well send it.
Yeah, no, I guess that's true. Only 8 lives remaining as you try desperately to push this to a final round. Surge gonna have one more chance at this. They're finding some of the clutch kills. Draza, though, taking his time up spiral. And then he stops taking his time, and the second he starts sprinting, he meets his maker. During that stretch, though, Cell gets 2, Cell gets 3, Cell gets 4. No respawns remaining. Last life for everybody on Vancouver Surge. Nasty's out of it. And it seems nearly impossible now. All on 04 and Neptune. And this is a much better FaZe protocol control we saw from yesterday versus Cloud9. Simp shooting bodies as he's had one hell of a map, and that will seal it. Draza, a tough map 1, but now the confidence may be starting to work a little bit. You're up 2-1 in this best of 5.
Yeah, I mean, they just played their game. I was a little bit worried after round 1 because that's how they lost to Cloud9. It was like they just weren't taking advantage of the situations they were able to gain in the middle of the map like they were doing online. Well, really throughout the entire year on protocol. But they rebounded so well.
That round 3 offense was like perfection.
Yeah.
Like perfection on protocol. And now you've got the 2-1 lead. You're getting ready to go into a map 4 with a chance to close it out for Surge. One of the best hardpoint teams in the game. That'll be your condition to get it to a map 5. And then you get to a map 5, you are one hell of a protocol Surge team. I mean, I always think back, we talk about Cloud9 being a really good one as well. We know how good they can be. I'll still think back to the game 5 where they 6-1 them. They smashed them on protocol Surge. Vancouver can be very, very good, but we got to get there before we talk too much about the map 4 and the map 5. Stats-wise, anything that pops off the page.
I mean, maybe you just kind of look at offensive kills, right? Nasty, not a great game from him on that front. On the other side, it's just a balanced effort. It really is on the FaZe side. Everybody right around 3,000 damage, all 20+. But yeah, Simjo's on that nasty spree, and just the offense, that round 3 offense, just so darn
clinical. The definition of clinical. We'll take a look at some of the highlights, but FaZe are a map away from another grand final. Like Chance said, death, taxes, and FaZe in a grand final. It's felt like that really since the inception of the CDL. Well, the inception of Simp into the Call of Duty esports. Neptune had some moments, had some brilliant ones. Just wasn't quite enough. And it just feels like, I mean, the ARs are so important, I think, in getting the SMGs to their spots and allowing them to make plays, and also getting a kill or 2 while that SMG player is maybe on an island. But once you get those players to those spots, they are who take over the game. It's going to be your 04, your Neptune, your BZ, your Simp. And well, one side got the better of it in this.
Yeah, and I think you had your chances if you were Surge, right? Even with that round 1 victory, then even spread throughout the rest of the rounds, well, outside of round number 3. Like, there were rebounds. There were times where you had 3 or 4 dead. They just did not take advantage of it enough on the Surge side. But, if we do have a rematch, this is probably going to be a map that comes back again. We see this final, so yeah, just something to talk about if you're Surge.
Yeah, no, I'm sure we'll see it in the final, but I love the stage setup, players just shouting back and forth at each other. It's been led to some incredible clips as the trash talk continues to grow over the weekend. But all right, now to red card, and I don't know, like I feel like every time we watch FaZe on this, it's like not the prettiest of wins, but I mean last night was pure cinema. With the 12 spree from Simp to kind of call map, that was insane. Granted, they were tied. It was close throughout most of it until that. Just
that second P1 or P1 where they really like kind of won that game. Simp then goes on that crazy spree to close it out. But yeah, on the side of Surge, you're undefeated with this new roster on this map. You don't play it very often, but again, just such a good hardpoint team overall.
How many reps is it?
What, 2-0?
How many wins? 2-0? Okay.
Just don't think they saw it very often. On the other side for FaZe, you're 3-0 throughout stage 2, but I would imagine the plus minus is 10.
No, probably. And you probably would have played more of that if you weren't working on your Hacienda so much of your FaZe, because you ended up having 5 or 6 reps of that over the course of the qualifier and the online minor. But stats from the guys on the Surge side is you're going to need a huge performance here if you get it to a map 5. You're able to beat this team in a map 5 once. No opportunity to close it out in 4. What a story it has been for Neptune. What a story it is for this team. Like I said, you couldn't have more different conversation when you talk about where they are at in their careers, what type of legacies you have. One team further cementing, one team just trying to get that first win for all their players. It's awesome to see Surge here. It is. We didn't know who it was going to be. Like, we didn't know, especially, I mean, we thought it was going to be like your Optic. We thought it was going to be your Ultra. It's like a top 3 team, but right now, it's this Surge lineup.
Yeah, I think throughout stage 2, like there was just question marks, and then the minor just
erased them.
Yeah, no doubt about it. They could play with the best. I mean, if it wasn't for the change in a best of 7 for the minor final, like they win that.
They won at 5, right?
Yeah, they were up 3-2. So they can beat the best of the best, but they're going to have to do it in another hardpoint.
I forgot about that. Their hardpoint has been good, so good. But they've got to get it done to get to the protocol search. Here we go, map 4, winners bracket final. FaZe win this, they're guaranteed a final berth. Other teams gonna have to run it back through losers. Get through a very hot Toronto Ultra who's not dropped a map in the loser side of it. Eyes are gonna be on Neptune. I mean, just like how we saw Simp yesterday on this map, he's gonna be a guy running laps sometimes. We'll have the timings too. Just an absolute point. And can pick you apart, but this has been a nice start from Surge. He's getting some early time here. 04. He had 2 minutes in the hardpoint, 40 plus in the map 1, right back to work around the objective.
Well, you'd probably find the final 20. Honestly, if it's not for that Abizi play, you're controlling the outside with Abuza and Nasty with the ARs. But Abizi starting to feel himself a bit, up to 3 in a row, get some of that objective time. They're gonna get set up for P2. But 04 going on a pinch here. What is the timing like? Because he can honestly ruin this setup for FaZe.
Yeah, I think his pinch might be the reason you end up spawning out. If you're Cell. He's trying to pick it apart. They deal with the 1, but that's it. Yeah, it picks it apart. And now it is all Surge inside of the point. What a start this has been. Chance to pin FaZe in as Neptune is beaming and piecing, taking out the tiny tear. Beautiful stuff there from Neptune. 04, I thought the shots looked perfect, but he can't quite take that one. But you've only got 10 points if you're FaZe through a hard point and a half.
Again, it's when these breaks happen from Surge. We saw it in the map 1. We see it here again at the P2. 20 seconds left though. FaZe just trying to take down Neptune. Both teams spawning on the low side of the map, trying to just get the scrap time and then foot race across towards P3.
Neptune still here. Still here. There has been no opening for FaZe. They'll take this final bit of time. 2 spawning out so far though. So the foot race obviously gonna be won by Surge, but the 1 player kind of up front will be Simp for Atlanta FaZe. So 4's POV for now to see what he's gonna be able to do. Eyes are gonna be on to Simp. Nade's gonna be on to Simp. He's just trying to finesse up top.
His nade missed.
Nade miss. Cell will get it though, but numbers, I thought you try to recenter if you're a 4 and Celia makes you pay. So now with the close spawn in the back for Atlanta FaZe, you have a chance to flood in this.
I mean, Celia continues to win gunfights. He is the reason they're going to put some pressure on this hill. He's going to get him out of this. The problem is, though, all of FaZe still spawning inside a garage. Draza trying to do what he can. Oh, Force just out of bullets. Doesn't matter. Has the pistol. And while you are set up for P3 and P4.
No, this is, I mean, you've been ahead every step of the way. I mean, maybe the only saving grace if you're FaZe, you're only down 30.
You've had some scrap time.
Yeah, it feels like it could be way worse because there's another brilliant moment from Surge. Zabuza gets up to 11 and 4. He's still dipping and diving. Pre-fires on point, but the nade and the gunny going to be a little bit too much. That would have been an insane stretch, though, from Abuza. 04 is going to carry a 3 spree, though, as we head out towards stage. This is one where FaZe can be so strong, but it's a very good early setup from Surge. Draza. Nice finesse there for Draws with 9 HP. He gets a little bit of help as well, but I thought he was dead to rights. Nasty.
That is the hard part, right, with P4, just the cross. Everyone has the ARs out. It's like even if you get some space around the middle stairs, you don't know if you're going to get to the hill. And this was what's so tough here for Surge, or for FaZe, is like this Surge map pool, they are such a strong red card Hacienda Hardpoint team. We could be going to the distance for the first time.
Oh, it is feeling that way. Up big. Trying to catch somebody to BZ, not able to do it. The crossfire in from 04, and that is a perfect hold when you already had a sizable lead. It's just growing now, nearly up 100.
BZ had 3 kills at P1.
And now up to 4. Well, it's kind of like, I mean, draws in the map 1, right? Like, started out 5-1. I looked at you during a listen, and I'm like, how's he have 8 or whatever it was? So many hard points later. You have got to get a good hold. You've got to shift things massively if you're FaZe and want to close out the map here, because it is not looking good.
No, it's another one where they're in a position.
Nice
well, I
shots.
thought maybe there was going to be a break, but Cell BZ bail him out of it.
Can they turn this into time? They could be one of the better teams on camera when they get their setup. But as you lose a BZ, the numbers start to thin. A team kill does come in, but Draws is able to get 2 as well, so puts him in position. But you're down in a massive hole. Yes, you're up in the series. Yes, you're guaranteed a map 5, but currently down about 80. Let's hear the comms now from FaZe.
Missing nasty, I'm saying
There's 2 on old, bro. Two ticket,
I'll hold our pinch.
Pinch
me deep, pinch deep. He's going Eskies. One's Eskies. Yeah, one's Eskies.
Top class weak. Top class and 1v flowers.
I'm flowers, I don't see
What's our top class though?
What's the time?
Nice.
Hey, shit on! Nice. They're all flying deep. I'm getting in fucking kills. P3 net. One shot P3. 2 P3 going hedge. One's going hedge, one's going bust. We're making a comeback right here. Yeah. I'm holding ticket. I take it. Yeah, stay on time. I take it. One shot on time. 2 on time. Mid time. Weak. Oh, nice.
One more mid door.
One more there.
He's like left side. Listen, mid door. One shot.
I'm gonna play duel.
Nasty stage. Hey, what's close minute?
Yo, they're mid hedge. They're hedge. Abuza, they're hedge. Yeah, they're hedge. Abuza.
Close 04. Weak. Our hedge telling.
I'm going up mid. Yeah, one's their mid. Abuza, they're mid. Abuza's their mid. Yeah.
Flowers.
I'm going outside.
Arch is nasty.
Arch is nasty. I'm putting ours. 04 on time. 04 weak on time. I suck him. He's dead on time.
I'll tell you what, you kind of heard the FaZe comms, like we come back right now. This is where we make our run. From that point though forward, you don't win a gunfight. They just get slammed. And where you had everything you wanted, like you think about the P1 and the P2, you had spawns, you had the comeback, you saw it on the map. Things just fall apart.
Well,
That's the
they
play
just
from
could
Surge.
not take down the ARs on the outside. I mean, normally what we talk about with Celium, he could not find that gunfight onto Nasty, and then Abuza was there to help him out. Abuza, by the way, stepping it up, 25 kills, leading the lobby. They're up 120 points. They are such a good hardpoint team.
So good. We'll see if there are any more opportunities for FaZe to battle back into this. I mean, you talk about yesterday, like Simp had that slow start in the map and then erupted. He was what? He was like 7-14, then he goes 35-10 or something, but the way Surge are playing, I don't know if the opening for that is going to come because they're not allowing FaZe to get into the setup that they want whatsoever. Entire clip into a car. Finally, as the dust settles, FaZe are going to get numbers. What kind of time can you turn this into? Can you pen them in the back and soak up all of this? Because maybe the comeback starts here.
Yeah, these gunfights look fun. They look like a ton of fun on the outer side, but you can see what they want to do, right? Everybody's pulling out ARs. They want to get pushed out outer towards this bus, then maybe flip the spawns, but FaZe, they continue to hold a good chunk of time here. Already 30 seconds. They have P4 spawns. Can they finally hold on a rotation? This has been the key for Surge. This is where they're finding breaks right before the hills pop.
And you think of last time through, I mean, it's an early setup for Surge's stage, and they just dominate it. If you do that here, if you're FaZe, we suddenly have ourselves a game because that was a very, very good hold at third. Let's get to stage. Early setup here for FaZe. Now the rallying cry for them to actually mount this comeback. Maybe Surge starting to feel the pressure. Split spawn going to come in as they try to pinch and collapse on this. Are you going to be able to pick it up? You've already got 2 dead. Simp's got to go huge. He's only able to get 1. Abizi going to be the last guy up. Spawner's coming in, but it seems like the break is here for Surge, and it could be a massive one. A team kill actually does come through, so you're not going to have that many bodies here if you're Surge. But the fact is, you get in the hard point, you clear them out. It's a scrappy gunfight down inside of the point. It's a pistol, able to win it with 5 HP left for Cell. He's so weak, though. He is ultimately traded out, but your Surge, you make sure, listen, this was not a perfect sequence from FaZe, is the big thing. Yeah, they chip away at that lead a bit, but it could have been a 20-point game.
Yeah, probably a 40-point swing instead, but yeah, they put so much pressure on it. I mean, the split spawns come through, and it just creates chaos, but I mean, you have Simp and Abizi, but both with 14 really struggling. They were chipping away, but still, yeah, 70-point game. Can they find a ton of time here at P5? Not easy to do whatsoever.
No, it is not, but timing there for Simp, read there for Simp, but it's Gunny from Nasty. That'll shut it down. The ARs, though, get it done around the point. Second by second, you come back into this. It's become far more competitive than it was, but still, you feel like the hardpoint's been so good from Surge that eventually they're going to find a big break and a big hold to close this game out. Sim's still here, though. His multi-kill may be the difference to keep them battling inside of this point, but he's so weak that Abuza does trade it out. And again, it's like just a good job from Surge, just making sure you don't get a bunch of time if you're FaZe. Allow them to close the gap a little bit. Don't allow them to close it down to like 20.
Yeah, that last player is always so weak on the hill, so they're just getting traded.
Yeah,
There's one player in 04 just kind of lurking, maybe just sort of waiting for someone to make a play. You get around 20 seconds or so if you are FaZe, so just chipping away. Can they get into this P1 setup? This is where they are normally so strong.
This has been their bread and butter, at least over the course of this weekend. Oh, that is just disgusting there from BD. He's going to be frustrated, but at least you snap back and deal with it. Nice little lurk play there from 04. That's going to get them now into the hard point. Trying to chow out and get the angles of Easy, not able to do it. Neptune, Abuza, the 2-man game, shutting it down, and this could seal the game. Just enough time here to win it. Just enough time here to win it, and maybe finally a magical game 5 here at the Major. We've had none. Second by second, we get closer. A big break opportunity for FaZe to try and extend this, or at least maybe see another hard point. With another tick, yeah, you can no longer win it now if you're Surge, but still, you're just so damn close. This is going to be some insanity from FaZe if you pull this off.
Yeah, I mean, you just got to think of the next couple of hills that are coming up in P2 and P3.
Yeah,
you're going to find 5 seconds, 4 seconds. They find the kills. They're on the hill. Abuza 39, trying to find number 40. Doesn't happen, but Surge sent us to a game 5. Finally! They exist.
Yeah, wow. All weekend long, we have been blanked. It's been 3-0 after 3-0 with a spattering of 3-1s. Finally, a map 5. And these guys are familiar with it. Last time they go to it, Surge are able to take it in 5. Can they do it here? Because they're getting to one of their great maps in Protocol Surge. One of the best teams in the game at it, Surge. I think the favorite to close this out and head into a final.
Yeah, I mean, 4-1 throughout stage 2 with this roster on the other side of FaZe. I mean, it's been a strong map throughout the year, but throughout this stage 1 and 2, it just feels like, I don't know, they haven't been able to find that form we normally see in this Search or Destroy. But it's major time. We haven't seen it yet. What adjustments do they make from online to land?
Well, I mean, for FaZe, you're like, hey, last Sunday at a major, all we did was win Surge. We won a major. Maybe they're going to do it here too with a little bit of control wins in as well. But what a great job from Surge. I mean, you even heard the listening from FaZe, like, hey, this is our run. This is when we do it. They just never allowed them to rally. Never allowed them to rally. A big part of that of Booze. I mean, not only does he have 39, but almost 5K damage. Look at his damage compared to the rest of the lobby. Those ARs were popping off, and probably a big part of why Simp and Abizi gets silenced. Those openings aren't there for them. The map controls go into Surge so massively. You rarely won the rotation battle and had early setups, and that has been the recipe for success for FaZe. How often did they have their ideal setup in Hardpoint?
Not often. I mean, you saw it one time at that P4, but you split that time, right? You got him at least off the hill. And then the P1s, that's where, if you were FaZe, that's where you're finding so much time setting that up. You just lost the gunfights outer time every single time we got there, right? And that was Abuza in Nasty,
wow,
in those ARs.
This Surge team is disgusting. It has been awesome to see their development over the course of this qualifier, and now the run here. They do it, get top 2. You talk about the minor, a chance for top 2 here. I mean, you already guaranteed top 3, obviously, but now a map away from a guaranteed top 2 and maybe getting a first victory for these guys. If you're wondering if the main stage was going to be, I don't know, worrisome at all for them, not like they're brand new players. I mean, they have experience, but Sunday's a little bit different. Sunday make a run to a final a little bit different.
Yeah, it is, but I just think if you watch these guys, you know how fundamentally well they've been playing, and they brought that to the stage.
Yeah, that's right. When the guns aren't hot, maybe the nerves are hitting, what carries you? It's fundamentals, and the fundies are on point for Surge. We have our first map 5 of the weekend. Quick break, then we get after it.
The Esports World Cup is an official partner of the Call of Duty League.
Upgrade your game with the Scuff, the official controller of the Call of Duty League.
I don't know why. 2 weak. One more. Weak. Get killed. Back out. There's two. We can refill your secret in a second. She's one more back door. I know your secret. Secret. Back door. One shot. Holy shit, Eric. Last one. Nice, Eric. Good story, man.
You can't kill me. What the frick?
What the f***ing I have a streak.
Here come the Thieves, they cannot allow this to slip now! And there is snaking going on. Octane and Envoy have broken through. Ken finds the second 1v1! And it's Clayster looking for the last! And they put it out! 10 seconds, 10 points! The comeback of the CDL year! Can they do it? The Thieves are moving, but they are moving into the kill feed! And Legion have just made the greatest comeback in Hardpoint!
Scrap follows up with another one. It's all going to be on to Brezzy now to make the play, and he can't do it. This is dominant from Ultra. Scrap just stood up, celebrated, took off his headset. You got another round, bud.
He's locked. He said, my bad.
All right, hey, chat, watch this. All right, we got to go play the game. Let's take a look at this bad.
FaZe fans, the hype squad in the front row, they make it to nearly every single event. That poor guy that hit the deck today outside the venue, is he here?
Saw that. That was tough.
Hey! What is that poor guy ate concrete for breakfast? Tough one.
Oh, come here. And backward.
Oh, no. Coming alley.
Oh my god. Oh my god! The paternity test is in. I am the father.
That might be it, folks. That is all she wrote. Heretics, 3-0 on Control.
Unbelievable stuff. Again, these guys on this map were lost for so long. The improvements they made, never mind, the map is going on 0.0. Vehicle didn't know either. Heretics started celebrating, and there's still game to be played.
There's 2 segments gone. Wow, what's happening? It's not over yet.
The 2025 Atlanta FaZe team pack is available now. Each pack includes home and away operators, as well as this weapon charm that's easy as FaZe. Next time you boot up, suit up at the in-game shop.
Welcome back to Major 2. We are deep into the tournament final day, as we're going to see who gets crowned our victor, but we still have several matches to go, battling for the trophy on your screen. For Vancouver, you got to this map 5, you got to one of your bread and butter search and destroys. You know, this is a team that their hardpoint's been so good when they have lapped. Sometimes it's been losing at like a 2-3-5. You know, you think about their loss to Toronto Ultra late in the qualifier. They can be susceptible to that. The hardpoint has kind of been their rock, but in this particular matchup, they've been dominating the search and destroys.
Yeah, I mean, 3-0 before jumping into this first phase, but yeah, they lose map number 2. FaZe looked very good on that red card search, but now the question mark is this protocol, because yeah, throughout the qualifier online was not great for FaZe whatsoever. Just a lot of just sort of low hits that didn't really work on their attacks, where on the other side for Surge, very creative, love to work top middle. Watch out for a 04 who loves to find those timings. Near that helicopter, work that B-bomb site. This should be an interesting one, and finally it is done.
That's insane. 24 straight series out of map 5. It finally comes to an end as we get it in our winners bracket final. I hope we were due for a banger of a Sunday considering the rest of the tournament. Then after the first match, I'm like, okay, I don't know what to expect, but here we go. These two teams have gone toe-to-toe, looking to beat them 3 times in a row. And really the only team to beat them over the last couple of months is Surge. Can they do it on the Proto? The FaZe FaZe defense going to come out swinging as everybody challenging there at A, but now we'll back up and reposition.
That was so much info though. Neptune spots 3, but it's almost like a bait, right? Because now FaZe instantly rotate. They wanted to show that presence there on purpose to hopefully force them to go to B, and they are here.
Surge have been very, very good.
Watch for draws.
When it comes to B. Abuza, he finds the opening, doesn't spot him. Neptune gets traded out instantly though. You do have a heli presence now, though. Now on the route, that's going to be number 1 in 04.
This is what he loves.
Does he find the timing? Does he find the route? He's going to spot Cell deep. Did Cell see him? Oh, he's so worried about top. He shouldered it. He spotted him, but it's not going to matter. Hits him down to 31. 04 with the patience and the play. Numbers over to Surge, 3 versus 2.
Then you're going to get aggressive if you're FaZe, but now you have to wait for Nasty. I think Abizi gets some awful timing, but Simp is there. Now it's all down to Nasty versus Abizi. You have the AR, you have the advantage. 20 seconds to go. Nasty looking for the gunfight versus Abizi, but Abizi wins it.
Oh, I thought he had it, but Abizi and Simp clutch up late in it. And I don't think I've seen a round like that in every Pro Golf casted. Like, that round was insane.
And I think a couple of those shots from Nasty like went through whatever that stuff, that tarp.
Yeah. Part of this helicopter, 100%. But Abizi, yeah, the timing a little bit awkward when he first gets there, but he is going to be the one that can clutch up and just, 100%. Nasty, that helicopter was eating some bullets. Abizi gets the shots over the top. Wins it, but that is a wild round 1. I mean, kind of the fake and setup from FaZe.
Yeah, and then the adjustments on the Surge side, right? You set up 04, and I love it from Abizi and Simp. Well, maybe not this round. Abuza gonna find the first blood. They went so quick where Nasty was kind of out of the play until it was a 1v1.
He's just hoping he can get through, but not gonna get there, so this becomes so much harder to get done. Just hoping you can get a pick. Abuza not letting it happen. We'll wrap this out and try to work into A. You have a player down there. Simp's just gonna hit it. I thought he had that gunfight 1, but he leaves Neptune 1 bullet. Cell leaves a player 1 bullet. and there's just not an opening anywhere. You get pinched in and choked out. I mean, you've probably done 800 damage this round of your face, but you haven't got a kill. Finally, Draws gets one, but not going to matter. You've been picked apart and dropped. You don't have bomb here to deal with. You have under 30 seconds to go. Just don't allow anything crazy to happen, obviously. Nice nade there to kind of stop it, but Draws is like, I'm still going to chow.
Yeah, you have no over-chows from the Surge side. Everybody just playing their life. Great movement on both sides. There was a chance there. Maybe if Simp wins that first one on a Neptune, things are a little bit differently, but it doesn't happen.
I thought he got the perfect time against Slide onto that, but Neptune wins a big one. That, and then what, Cell on the player up top of the window. He can't finish it. Great job playing your lives, winning some key gunfights, Surge. Now tie it up, and they're thinking, man, we should have won that round one as well. So we definitely saw a different look, kind of from FaZe when you think about the offense and what they were, or sorry, the defense, what they were trying to do. Curious what they're going to do this time around. They showed such a presence down at A. This time it's like they're just hitting outer A. Kind of peeking and sending it.
Yeah, big door hit, and then they're just making sure nobody can work near this P2, but locking down A, and it's a very slow offense here from Surge.
Trying to spot for some info. 4's like, oh, lordy, let me get the hell out of there. Yeah, please don't peek. And, you know, you're kind of worried maybe there's a second player there, and you're going to over-peek on the FaZe side and get dropped. 4, though, maybe finding an opening, just taking the route. Up through top, Cell's back down. Looks like he's ready to take that fight.
Bomb is here as well.
Straight out of easy. Cell's there, but that's the multi-kill that maybe turns the tide. That's one Cell's got to win, but it's a sub up in your face and 4 making plays. Nearly caught early on, but he continues to go. The slide out, I thought he had that, but 4 not able to win the fight. Nasty now trying to hunt it down. Draws, just hides. Lurks, Nasty finally able to get the angle and take it. It's all going to be on Simp now. 1 versus 2 to clutch.
There's a dead nade as well on the jump down.
He goes, he gets the kill, and he gets out. Bomb does get planted, though. Simp. Nasty.
He thinks he's still
1v1.
low.
Yeah, he thinks he went low.
Nasty's got an AR.
He spotted him, I think. He spotted him. Tags in, Nasty's in trouble. He lost the 1v1 to Abizi, and now Simp puts him down. Another 1v1 clutch for FaZe, and it's got him up 2-1.
Yeah, that's the risk of the B-bomb site, right? It is so difficult to cover the person on the bomb. They throw a detonate at sidewalk. He waits for it to blow up, just able to catch him.
And that's just like, I mean, it's tough gunfights for Nasty, right? In the sense, you just got a sub kind of moving, grooving at you, trying to cut the distance. But some winnable rounds for Surge.
Well, especially with the 0-4 double, right? You destroy Cellium with the SMG. You have numbers advantage. Simp doesn't help Draws out because they have no idea that bomb is down. They don't know where bomb is going. He's basically saying, hey, if they rotate A, it's on me. That doesn't happen, but he clutches the round.
Well, sometimes when they take this route, this is what happens. I swear, it's just a tomfoolery when they try to take it. They're able to hit one nade, though, and somehow they walk away with this okay, despite the fact that the trophy kill early in it, you have another trophy to cover you inside. So down to another crazy round, 2 versus 2. Abuza and Nasty. Selling Draws. We take a breath.
This is tough. This is double AR, right? On the FaZe side.
Maybe go scoop something. Oh, sweet jump dive. He's gonna hit down to 61. Maybe they try to collapse off of this, but not yet. And bomb not planted either.
And they know they're split.
Kind of dead knight out front so he can hold one lane. Obviously with the bomb getting planted, you can't hold too much more. Draws gets info, believe on the player from Spiral. That's gonna be Nasty working his way down. Draws is able to find a sub now, so this becomes a little more advantageous.
We see Abuza. That was a question. Where was Abuza? They find him now.
He thinks he tucks in the corner, but he's able to snap out and chow. The call on his weak is another 1 versus 1, and it's another FaZe win. All the clutch rounds just seemingly going their way. It feels like eventually they're not going to take one of these one-on-ones, but again, they're able to do it. It's been Abizi, it's been Simp, it's been Draws. Maybe Cell's going to get a chance at some point.
Well, and it was all 4 ARs, and that was what I was worried about. Who was left on the Surge side? Did someone have a sub? The answer was no. And then Draw's able to find one, so he takes the aggression to them, wins the first one, catches that player. Spiral, the trade is there from Abuza, but you're just going to lose that gunfight to the Jackal every time.
Oh, I mean, really good two-man game, kind of from both sides. Just a little bit more in the tank to come out on top of your phase. And Draw is maybe not the best series, but he's having a good one here. 4 straight from Draws. Does he end up with the ace? Well, it was crazy because the trophy kill. No, he did because the nade kill was his, so the ace for Draws. Honestly, I kind of forgot because the circus that was the beginning of that round. Easy hunting and getting caught top mid, but Cell able to get a kill, but this quick plant is going to lead to pressure for FaZe. They got to try and retake this. Get the car in, spotting for info, getting damage in. You want to push off of that, but the nades slow down Simps. They can't fly behind the car. Now only 20 seconds to go. You got to go swinging. From top middle, it's Neptune. He takes the route. He's able to get both, and you shut down the retake. Good answer there from Surge.
No, I think you're right. I think if that car hits, they go. But there was a nade, a Semtex to stop Sim. Allows Neptune then to get into this position.
Oh, 100%. That nade doesn't hit Simp and they just go.
You might catch both.
Maybe, and that's probably on Neptune to clutch type scenario, but the fact that Simp kind of has to hold there after the nade. Because the car, I mean, it gets damaged into 1, maybe 2. And I think that's the play call. Like, hit the car and go. Just good utility out of Surge to make sure that doesn't happen. All the 1v1s, FaZe wins. Anything else, Surge win. You got to think we can't have that many more 1v1s, so maybe edge the Surge.
Yeah, remember, we've had 4 searches between these two teams. Every single one has been a 6-4 or 6-5.
I like the battle. Abizi's been caught a couple of times, but this time he'll be the one to get the first blood. It's a wild one, and 04 gets it. Traded out, though, as the Butcher gets to it. Cell will get the stab on. Now.
He's got to get the bomb, though.
3 versus 2.
Abizi gonna make it a 3 versus 1.
I mean, Abizi's literally had 3 first deaths and 2 first bloods. I mean, that's kind of Abizi on Proto, I guess, but.
It's Abizi, period.
Okay, good point, good point, good point. Nasty, trying to go, maybe catch a timing. It's not going to happen. Finally, you get a round victory if you're facing. It's not through a crazy 1 versus 1. I thought maybe, I think there's been a couple opportunities where after the first blood, you get a quick trade, or you get a quick kill kind of on the grapple there to take out Simp, but it's been Cell a few times. There's always been at least that person there for the trade, just to keep numbers in the 3 versus 2.
Yeah, and that's just on 04, right? He's just thinking there's just 1 in there. Can zip back up, maybe just play his life. But of course, it's selling him with a knife.
4-2 now. See what Surge try to do with this offense. Neptune's going to be the guy popping and peeking, usually down low, and he nearly gets laced. Get me out of there, please.
Well, early pressure means what? We're going to wrap towards B. Number 8 Andraza is going to be the first one. Nobody else is really there. And, well, it's on Andraza to stay alive. Doesn't. He gets picked.
So this is pretty similar to that round 1. Just the rotation not as quick from FaZe and the attack fast from Surge.
And as soon as you lose that first player on defense, it's so difficult to hold this. So Abizi tries to fly on through and pretty much stop the plant, maybe make it a winnable round. Doesn't happen. You're so fast from Surge over towards B after the info from Neptune. Simp left in a 1 versus 3. Gets hunted down.
Yeah, just get rid of him. Don't allow any crazy plays. Beautiful there from Surge. But I thought that was sort of the show 3 or 4 bottom. Quick wrap back to B for FaZe again. I think it kind of was, but maybe they thought the same thing was happening. Surge was like, all right, let's just get up and get bombed down immediately. Don't allow them to wrap back. And yeah, like you said, get that first pick. Obviously thins the defense and make things so difficult. Once you're not worried about backstats, you have a player heli, you're like, obviously, good luck. And finally, it's just not a 1v1 with Nasty against a sub from that position. And like you also said, yeah, these teams in Surge, it's either around 10 or around 11. It feels we're guaranteed. We're headed that way again. They're challenged, damaging all over the place, but nobody going to fall outside of Abizi. At first, I thought everyone going to walk away from that. A nade's going to hit, and suddenly it's a massive advantage, and maybe we're going to have ourselves a tie game. Simp got a dip because the nade hits. Cell and Simp 2 versus 4. Dominance in the early round again here from Surge.
Yeah, I think it was a nice sort of creative opening there from FaZe. It's just, they didn't find the kill on a Nasty. They just want to back him down. But then Abuza has a crossfire in. Neptune just quickly adjusts to find that kill on the player pushing big door.
Simp was kind of waiting for the 0-4 route, but at some point, you just got to go. They're aware of where he is, and they deal with him perfectly. Only way that falls apart is maybe Simp walks away with 2, but you saw all 3 players kind of focus on him taking the backside. They leave it open. They trap him in, and Cell last up. Here we go, 4-4 now. Another great round from Surge.
Yeah, now it's just this question, how do we defend this B side? Are you going to give up A, just play a 4-on-4 retake? They did that earlier. They had the car, still didn't work out. FaZe have to make adjustments on defense.
Now you're definitely thinking, we're Surge God. I mean, just the 1v1, we won this map already.
At least one of it. If we won one of them, we'd be a 5-3.
Yeah, 5-3's looking a lot better, but they kind of started to make a run. Remember in the map 2, strung together some rounds, but that's when FaZe bounced back. Can you kind of do what you did in the Hardpoint? Like, don't give them those moments. Don't give them those rounds where they get going again. Just shut them down. It's been lights out for 2 in a row. Looking to do it again here, but yeah, different defense from FaZe. Not really showing anything. At A, outside, looks like Cell. He's tucked away, and Abuza picks it up. Simp is caught and dropped. What a play there from Abuza.
Well, I was going to say, I imagine they're going to check this because Nasty plays that like every single round. It is a common spot for Surge, but 0-4, he ends up throwing those numbers away. So 3 versus 3 bomb, though. Where is it going to end up going? What is the timing like for Draws again on this position? He is able to snap. Is there a trade from Abizi? I don't think so.
Not going to happen. Neptune keeps on moving. Numbers to Surge
top
again.
Window. He cannot go out towards the front door. They do not know where Cell is. And well, they're going to catch him. They're going to catch him on the rotate. Again, these adjustments, man. What, you were down 4-2, 3 rounds in a row from Surge.
What a pickup from Abuza in the early round. And then I thought, yeah, maybe 0-4 squanders one, but the rest of the lads step up. Neptune on the main stage, up to double digits in a map 5. This sub-duo has been so fun to watch. Round 10, advantage Surge. After 3 straight rounds, they can seal it here. Winner in a grand final. Loser to battle Toronto for a chance at the final. 5 straight for Abuza, 4 straight for Neptune. This has been, like, they've been dominating the last 3 rounds. It has not been close. The adjustments have been better from Surge. They're slowly working their way up. Car out now. Able to rip that, so car out of the play. But a little bit of info, at least on the FaZe setup.
I mean, nobody's, what, you have 1 player spiral? Nobody's A side, so it's, everybody's here for Surge.
They hit the nades and Chow. That's going to be the play to call to go. Draws it, gets the pick in the back, and that might be the opening. They're going to go ahead and get bomb planted quickly. Can you get the player up off bomb to fight this? You still have Cell, top house, deep. It feels like you have to absolutely rip the player in heli to further your chances to get this. But the first advantage you've really had for FaZe in 4 rounds. Trophy there for coverage too, otherwise it might have been a nice one. Simp able to get 1, Simp able to get 2. He steps up, streak's coming to an end, and we're going all the way. From no game 5 to a game 5, round 11. Here we go.
Well, we'll see who's attacking, but again, just that first player on B defensively cannot get taken down. One time it was Draza, this time Draza able to get that first blood. Immediate plant, Simp plays his life.
Woo! Here we go, finally! We deserved it, round 11. Offense for FaZe.
This is going to just be a good old-fashioned A hit? No, okay.
Imagine. Let's send it in battle. Abizi a couple times, got caught on the crossover top middle. Cell trying to get in fire to get him out. They're thinking they can isolate one. They've got Neptune at the box. The help is going to be from bottom. And they're able to catch him. There's the first blood. Of course, it's Abizi. 4v3 numbers now. Over to Atlanta FaZe. And I love the transition over there. You're thinking we're top middle. Oh, they're gonna drop down. Is it trade there? It's not. What a play for 04. But you're able to sandwich it. Cell finds the angle. Numbers back to FaZe.
Well, they're just working A, right? 04 was the only player. Nasty was B side. Abuza was, well, he was up top. You have 2 trophies, so much protection. How do you do this?
Nasty and Abuza.
You gotta rip somebody.
For the map. Here we go. Tags in, but not able to rip him. Finds a sub though.
That'll help.
Could change it. Tries to go vertical. It's all on Nasty. Gets one, but we're done. FaZe clutch up in the round 11, and they've got a team with another final. Perhaps a third Major 2 victory lying in wait.
And honestly, it was a beautiful round 11. Really what they do is they hit a BZ top middle, and the plan is to go out plat. But what is always so tough about that is that player top window, right? That's Abuza. So they throw a couple of nades down. They are able to get him weak. He has to back away. That's when those 2 players can go. They're able to catch Neptune. Then you pretty much choke out 04 with numbers. The A bomb site's open.
Doesn't really feel like you're choking out that side from plat very often, right? Like,
no. Yeah, but that's because all the pressure from a BZ top mid, the nade right onto Abuza's feet, has to back him away.
Wow, what a series, what a map. Ray talking it through with the guys, like, hey, this is a young team.
You went to war.
A new team. Yeah, you went to war. I mean, you think about the final you had versus Thieves in the minor, the series against FaZe. Like, listen, you are a contender now. You're not out of the tournament, but you are a contender
that's
now,
just
man.
it. It's like we're playing next, lock back in, all right? Like,
exactly.
You know, focus on the next match versus Ultra. But their hardpoint is so darn good. It's, again, this 2-3-5, and on the FaZe side, it's like, can you win a hardpoint on a Sunday?
But that, like, it's